Ripple settlement discussions expected to begin April 3rd. New information from the court suggests a settlement meeting is soon to be held, suggesting that the legal battle between Ripple and the SEC is getting closer to a potential conclusion. In order to resolve the ongoing legal dispute between Ripple and the SEC, a settlement conference has been scheduled according to information from the court listener database. The ripple effect during the XRP settlement conference, Stewart already hinted to claims made by the SEC. A court document from March 29 states that Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission met for a settlement conference to discuss issues and further define the scope of their disagreements. The Diohack research supposedly shed a lot of light on the cryptocurrency sector, but great claims otherwise. Even though 7 years have elapsed since the publication of the DO study, Stuart Algerati, chief legal officer of Ripple, has failed to provide clarity to the cryptocurrency sector. Stuart Algerati, chief legal officer of Ripple, later blogged on X about the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's lack of transparency in relation to the SEC's unfounded claim. From the perspective of the SEC, the DIO report has provided the cryptocurrency community with a wealth of information regarding operational and regulatory concerns. But he claims that something is amiss because 8 important cryptocurrency cases are still being litigated in federal courts by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Court procedures are getting more and more complicated despite the lack of progress toward resolving the disputes. A settlement meeting between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission occurred on March 29, and the tweet was issued afterward. Reportedly spotted in Manhattan, New York City, were Stuart Algerati, the company's chief legal officer, and Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Settlement discussions have begun between Ripple and the SEC. According to Fox Business journalist Eleanor Tourette, the settlement conference may replace the previously scheduled April meeting preceding the pretrial procedure meetings. The parties involved in a lawsuit often convene for a settlement conference before the trial. This gathering aims to discuss issues, identify common ground, and hopefully resolve or at least mitigate any lingering problems. On April 16, at the last pretrial meeting, Judge Annalisa Torres asked the attorneys for the two sides, Ripple and the SEC, to discuss the likelihood of a settlement. Although this is going on, the SEC is trying to get a definitive ruling against Ripple. This includes civil fines exceeding $2 billion, discouragement and prejudgment interest totaling $1 billion. This also includes injunctions regarding permits. In response, Stuart Algerati, chief legal officer of Ripple, and Brad Garlinghouse, chief executive officer, both blasted the SEC, whose division had threatened to disclose the regulator in the 22 April filing. Here you can find information on whales. As XRP's price gains traction, whales transfer 244 million tokens. Who should I talk to next? Inquiries regarding the secondary sales of XRP. The most major defeat for Ripple and Coinbase was Judge Fala's ruling on the categorization of secondary market sales as contracts for investments in the Coinbase v. USEC issue, which generated a stir in the community and among lawyers. An XAC official named John Reed claims that Judge Philly completely ignored Judge Torres's reasoning in the Ripple decision, which held that buyers in secondary transactions cannot be considered to be entering into an investment contract since they do not know the identity of the seller. To allay the concerns of the XRP community over secondary sales, Judge Torres remarked that the matter should not have been brought before the court, according to Bill Morgan, an attorney who backs XRP. Instead of considering XRP's secondary sales, the court narrowed its emphasis to programmatic sales since they were one of 3 categories challenged by the SEC money due. Amidst the ongoing XRP lawsuit, there has been much conjecture in the cryptocurrency community about a potential settlement meeting between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Speculation about a possible settlement intensified when reports surfaced of Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and Chief Legal Officer Stuart Algerati's presence in New York. The concept gained momentum as a result of this. Should we convene a settlement conference? Some XRP member named Boba Fett said he saw Garlinghouse and Algerati outside a New York federal courthouse. The subject of a potential settlement deal between Ripple and the SEC was brought up as a result of this. A cryptophile and former Fox Business writer named Eleanor Tourette said in a post that the Ripple versus case will have a settlement conference on March 29. According to the document submitted by Sectorette, the final pretrial conference hearing is set for April 16, 2024. The evidence lent credence to this. However, the agreement did not specify a date for the parties to meet in order to explore the possibility of a settlement, although it did allude to the possibility of such a meeting in light of the sectorette stance and Ripple's response to it. The company was fined $2 billion for alleged breaches of securities regulations. Meanwhile, she is exerting tremendous effort on behalf of the Securities and Exchange Commission to obtain a final decision in the XRP litigation. In a response, Duarte Alderati, chief legal officer of Ripple, criticized the attractive person's unfair demand, citing inconsistencies and asserting that the regulatory body had made false assertions. In April, Alderati plans to respond on Ripple's behalf, as he has already said. In this statement, Ripple will make it clear that it intends to challenge the SEC's allegations. In this light, the ongoing legal battle between Ripple and the SEC over XRP gets another degree of ambiguity with the proposed settlement meeting. All eyes are on XRP in this conflict. As a result of its disappointing performance, XRP is already facing backlash from the community. A $2 million smack could be enough to resolve the case, right? It is not easy to find a compromise that satisfies everyone. The presence of Ripple's senior executives in New York and the company's settlement meeting both suggest that the company and the Securities and Exchange Commission may be in negotiations. Reaching a conclusion over the XRP case could have a significant impact on Ripple's future. There's been no let-up in the anticipation of further developments in this high-stakes court struggle among Bitcoin enthusiasts. In preparation for an April pre-trial meeting, Ripple and SEC are presently seeking areas of agreement. There will be more uncertain, they'd sit regarding XRP's regulatory status for some time if they can't settle the case before it goes to trial. Rumors have been circulating that Ripple Labs may be planning to hold a settlement conference with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in order to end the XRP case. The observation of Chief Executive Officer Brad Garlinghouse and Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderati in New York led to the development of this premise. Speculation about a possible settlement to the XRP case has intensified. Today, a member of the XRP community going by the X handle Boba Fett claimed to have seen Garlinghouse and Alderati outside of a New York federal courtroom. According to Boba Fett, the executives may have arrived at the venue to discuss a settlement with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on the XRP case. The court listener had already hinted that March 29 was going to be the date of the settlement meeting, according to Fox Business reporter Eleanor Tourette. Despite efforts by groups like John Datton's Crypto Law to confirm the veracity of the data, this remains the case. Trading advice should not be construed from the data that has been supplied. Based on the information provided on this page, no investments have been made. We recommend that you do your own research and talk to an expert before making any investing decisions.